Hi there, welcome to Nanny Squares. I'm Jody and I am going to work on a little project here. I think that I'm going to start a hexagon cardigan and I'm going to show you my techniques in using one. So here I am doing the magic ring. And what I do for my magic ring is I do a double magic ring. Not quite sure where I heard about that, but so if you look, you've got two that are crossed over on the back and the three at the front are not crossed. So now I'm going to take my crochet hook, grab that bottom, that one that's on the top, pull it through and make a stitch. Okay, so that's how I start one. Here's the circle, here's my yarn, here's the loose end of the yarn. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start chaining two, or chaining three. I chain three. This is going to be my first stitch, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets. I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to do 3, and I'm going to do a six set of that. So I'm just going to sit here and do 6. I'd like to introduce myself to you. As I said, I'm Jody. My YouTube moniker is Nanny Squares, which I think is kind of cool. I was watching a baseball live broadcast of the Blue Jays last year that's put on by Blue Jays Today, which if you watch Blue Jays baseball, they're a cool one to watch on YouTube. Just really fun, especially when you've got an empty nest and you're listening to these boys and their excitement about the baseball game, and it just kind of makes it really cool and fun. So I donated a little bit of money to them for their show. They were very entertaining and very nice. And that's the first time I heard someone say, "Thanks, Nanny Squares." And it just kind of stood in my mind and thought, that's pretty cool. And I thought, well, maybe I can be Nanny Squares. So I've tried a lot of things in the last year. I tried to publish books on YouTube, or not on YouTube, but on KDP, the Amazon Publishing. I thought, oh, that looks easy from watching YouTube videos. I can do that. And I did put a couple on there, but nothing just seems to stick. I've been not feeling very well for a while, and YouTube's kind of been my friend for a while. So I thought, let's see if I can do this YouTube thing. So 9 months later, I've got up a little bit of courage. I've done a bunch of shorts that are not very good at all. And this is my first one where I'm going to show someone how to do something. So as I said, I do that double magic ring. And what you do is you pull on your loose end, and it's going to show you which one to pull through. So this one that's taller, you're just going to leave that one alone. And you're going to pull this, and you're going to close your magic ring. I like to close tight, but you can close it so there's still a hole there. And what I do too is I pull this through that magic ring and pull it tight. Okay? So that I know that it's kind of locked in a little bit better than maybe I think it is. And then you're going to just slip stitch into that. So now I've got to get over to this point here to do a cluster of 3, chain 3, and double crochet 3 more to do your corners. But what I do is I guess I don't know if I cheat or if this is just something I learned years ago, but I just kind of take my 1 stitch over there, and I'm going to chain 3 for my first of that set of 3. And then you're going to go like this. You're going to chain 3. And you're going to do that 6 times again. So while I do that, if anyone is interested in commenting in the comments, I will be gladly answer any questions about anything crochet related, baseball related. I've been watching a lot of thrift videos, and I have a lot of ideas about how to combine crocheting in with thrifting old clothes and making them a little bit cooler, and stealing some of no, we are Gen X. I am Gen X, going on boomer, but I'm a Gen Xer. So stealing some of those young kids' ideas and how they think they know everything about crochet and all this kind of stuff. So I want to teach them a few things that I learned when I was their age, and hope that they watch me and think of me kind of as Nanny Squares or someone that can help them learn more things. And some of those crafts that we did as young girls and teenagers and young boys that are kind of forgotten these days because they're so easy to do, to buy things and buy plastic things and stuff like that. Show a little bit more how you can recycle things, how you can add some really cool patches to jeans and give them a new life. I have dreams of setting up a little eBay account and selling some of my crochet bags and things like that. But my main interest actually is just to chat with people that like to crochet and maybe show them something new and have them excited about crochet and learning, or if they've crocheted in the past, to kind of get a light under their butt again and get them crocheting, and because it really is a nice little hobby to have. I can't imagine not doing something. Last fall I was very sick through the summer, through the fall, and I couldn't be doing this, and boy, did that ever take a big toll out of me mentally and physically, not being able to create things. I like to create things. I like to think of things for other people to do. I'm full of suggestions. I'm full of ideas, and I don't always finish my projects, but I like to tell other people what they can do and what they can make. I'm working on a set of these just little stuffed animals. I did the stuffed plushies that everyone did for so many years, and they just all look the same to me now, and I've kind of lost that interest and that spark in it. I did all the loaf cats and the Mabel duck, the chicken, and all those bees and everything like that. But for some reason, I just lost the interest in it. Lost the desire to do it. So I've been going back to my roots of granny squares and doing fun things like that. So this channel is probably going to be a lot of granny squares, using scrapped yarn in different ways to make things. And sometimes you feel like you don't have something to make a project with, and if you go through your craft drawers, there's always something that you can make if you have just take the time and sit down and realize everything doesn't have to be perfect. Everything can be add a button here, add some beads and wires here, and you can really make some cool stuff. I am making a lot of flowers right now. Again, that's something that I love to make. Don't think I've got one sitting around really close, but they're just fun. It kills the time, and you can create something in 15 minutes and have something that shows, even if you just have some scrap yarn lying around, because we all know how expensive yarn is right now, and how expensive groceries are too. So it's just nice to be able to make something from what little bit you have around. And maybe you don't think colors go together, but sometimes they actually do, and they really make a really cool piece of art for you. So consider that. Consider adding 2 strands of of a lighter weight yarn together that maybe don't match totally, but you'll be surprised with what might come out as a result of it. So don't be don't be afraid to experiment. Don't think you have to buy $7 and $8 patterns that are all the same all the time. If you want, comment here and I'll help you find a pattern for something that you want to make. And there could be something out there that's free, not copied from someone else's work, but something that originally 20 years ago was being made by us older crafters. So we'd be able to help you find some things. I made yarn dolls the other day, and they're just the cutest thing, and they're easy to do. And I don't know if my daughter wasn't interested in doing crafts too much, but I don't know if her generation really knows how simple it would be to make some Christmas decorations. How you can take little things and make things that are cool from nothing. Jar lids, jars, turning them into, something that's usable again rather than just recycling it. So I'm going to go one more row for you here. And again, you're in your corner, so you're going to chain the 3. You're going to do 2 beside that one. Chain your 3. Go in, and there's your corner. So when you're in the beginning stages of doing your hexagon cardigan, make sure that you've got 6 quarters, because it's sometimes hard if it's hard to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 6, because if it was 5, I'd have to rip her out and start her again. What I do when I've got my rows here, you're building your sides. I've got two boxes here to crochet into. I chain 1 at this point. If you want to chain 3, you can. The holes would be bigger. Your sweater is also going to be bigger and take less time. So that's kind of a positive as well. I'm using a 4.5 hook because I'm making just a little boy's sweater. So I want it a little bit tighter and warmer for a little boy to wear. But if you, I would, on my own sweaters, I would make them I would use my 6.5 hook. I like that hook. It slides nice. I use clover hooks. It doesn't matter what kind of hook you use. You can find them at the thrift store. I suggest if you've got neighbors that you're friendly with, you see if anyone in your community can help you learn how to crochet if you don't know, rather than learning just on YouTube. YouTube is a great source for learning, and but learning from a neighbor, learning with a neighbor, that's sometimes fun too. So you just sit down and you crochet together, you have a cup of tea, and that's kind of what I'm hoping this channel might become, where we can all pull out our wool, our yarn, and just sit and crochet, ask questions in the chat. I'll answer some questions when I'm not crocheting, and I would answer every question after the video for sure. But there's also hopefully going to be some people in there that are more than willing to help and answer questions for new people. I just really would love to start a little community where it's just nice and we sit and have a cup of tea and crochet together. So I'm at 39 subscribers, and I'm very excited actually to have 39 subscribers. I think I feel very honored. Every like I get, it makes me so happy. And every comment I get, I think, okay, that's great. That's great. They liked what I did, or you know, I can help them with a problem. That's what I live for. I'm an empty nester now, and my husband is very supportive of my crocheting, but it's different. And like I said, or maybe I didn't say, but part of my sickness, somehow I've developed a fear of leaving the house, fear of being without my husband, fear of, I don't know, I spent so much time, I think, taking care of my family, and now my kids are gone and they don't need me. And that's okay. That's their lives. They are living their own lives. They're 28 and 27, and they're doing good. And I'm so proud of them. I love them so much. But I'm alone a lot. So this helps. And something like this YouTube channel would actually really help. I found when I was really sick and I couldn't crochet, I couldn't do anything, YouTube was what pulled me through. And the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's just say it as it is. I'm a huge Blue Jay fan, so if anyone follows baseball, any kind of baseball, I love talking about baseball. There's a few, of course, that, you know, I'm a Blue Jays fan, so New York Yankees aren't my favorite team right now, and I have to be respectful of the Dodgers because one of my oldest childhood friends is an avid Dodger fan, so I can't say anything that would insult the Dodgers, but I mean, they did us. We should have won the World Series. Let's just say that. So this is my life. I hope that some of you might stay around. Some of you might subscribe. Some of you might like my videos. Some might comment. And, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll turn out to be internet friends. So now I've got this done. This is as much as I'm going to do today with you. As you can see, it doesn't lay flat. It shouldn't lay flat. It's got some movement here. That's the way it should be. So you're doing everything right. Now, what you're going to be doing is folding that up into this shape. And if you've got this shape at this point, you have the start of the sweater. And you're on the right track. And so tomorrow I will work a little bit more on this. I'll probably work on this evening, get it to the point where it's a small kid's jacket. We'll pick some buttons tomorrow, and I'll show you a couple tricks about how to finish it up. And I guess that's about it for this video. Again, thank you for anyone that stayed to watch. Thank you if you watched 2 minutes. Thank you if you watched almost 20 minutes. So listen to me drag on, but we'll come up with some good topics. I mumbled a lot in this one, but I promised myself I would do one, and I did one. So here we go. And like I said, if you feel the need or you would like to help me out in any way, like, subscribe, and comment. And I will answer any comments that there are. And I would be so thankful for any likes and subscribers that, let me say that again, any subscribers that may join. So, and I've got a little bit of an ADHD problem. At the age of 58, I'm just kind of seeing more and more through my life that, yeah, I do have ADHD. And the biggest proof was on report cards. I used to get, Jody would do much better if she applied herself. So I'm applying myself to this. Thanks from Nanny Squares, home to your home.